What do you think a foreigner should know while coming to China?
Well,
In your perspective, what's your advice you could give to foreigners on how to make Chinese friends effectively relationship
okay.
wise? Yeah.
Well, in general, I would say you don't need to try to make friends because many Chinese people will make friends with you because most people want to be friendly. And for another reason, is like many students in China want to make foreign friends because they want to practice speaking English, right? So I think.
Hi, hello, good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Jane.
You look very good today.
Thank you.
But I know who you are, please. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Eddie.
Eddie. That's a very nice name, by the way.
Yeah, Edward. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, are you a Junanian? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
I can say that I'm a local because I grew
Oh,
up here.
you're local. Cool, cool. So, what would you say as a Chinese that you really like about Jinan?
Well, I think it's a it's not like a slow-paced city, but it could be like very adaptable place because you don't need to go very fast and slow, right? Yeah. And another thing I like Gina is like I'm a as a motorcyclist. Yeah, they have no restrictions for road about the motorcycle, so I can drive a motorcycle anywhere in the city, not like in Beijing or Shanghai.
Wow. So, do you think driving like motorcycle in Jinan is better off than some cities in
Yeah,
China?
exactly. Concerning the traffic and
Oh,
the parking problem, yeah, I think motorcycle is good. Yeah, and I love to ride a motorcycle also because I can feel the nature. When the
ah,
wind, yeah, when the wind comes across my face and something, yeah, so it should be good.
great. All right. So, what do you do in Jinan?
Oh, I'm an IELTS teacher. Yeah, I
Wow.
teach the speaking part.
Okay. Are you in a relationship?
Sorry,
Are you in a relationship?
kind of.
All right, great. Thank you. All right, so that's the end of the first part. And now we move to the second part.
Okay.
We all know that China right now is very open, which is very exciting. And I mean, thank you for being my guest, actually. So the first question would be, what do you think a foreigner should know while coming to China,
Well,
in your perspective?
well, I think the first thing they must know is the weather. Yes, especially for people from tropical area. Yeah, it's because you never experience winter, especially cold or snowing wet winter, right? Yeah. So maybe you will worry about a slippery road and you think about falling over, but it's not something I'm going to talk about. Perhaps you're not adapt to the weather and you may get the flu or a cold in the first year of experience. So make sure that you have plenty of warm clothes in case. Yeah, okay. So maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always talk about health, right? Try to.
Most especially, that's very important. I wish I thought about that.
Okay.
Actually, I was thinking snow was a good thing, but it's not. It is cold.
Yeah.
All right. So apart from weather, what else can you talk about?
Well,
Your advice to foreigners coming to China right now?
maybe the food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because in China, the cooking is very different from Western cooking, right? While people are cooking, it's smoky, right? Which means they use a lot of oil to fry, to stir, blah blah, right? Yeah. Perhaps if you eat too much, you know, oil stuff and fried stuff, you may get some problem like stomachache or perhaps maybe you do that. And make sure that you have some stomachache killer or something.
Stomach ache killer. I like that. All right.
Trying to kid and make the video more fun, right?
Okay. So, today's topic is gonna be titled like how to make Chinese friend, effective relationship with the Chinese people. We all know that in China we meet Chinese people. That's so obvious. But in your perspective, like, what's your advice you could give to foreigners on how to make Chinese friends effectively relationship
Okay.
wise? Yeah.
Well, I think it depends on people because, you know, people have different characteristics, right? Yeah, perhaps you're open-minded and you know, offer to talk and you're always like entertaining. Maybe people will try to know you out of curiosity. Yeah. But also it depends on like, well, in general, I would say you don't need to try to make friends because many Chinese people will make friends with you because most people want to be friendly. And for another reason, is like many students in China want to make foreign friends because they want to practice speaking English, right? So I think they would try to know you, right? Especially when you are here as a student. Yeah, you can like help each other, called a mutual assistance, right? Well, another thing I want to address is like for some ladies, yeah, like foreign ladies, you should be, you know, I can say be careful or maybe just to show more care about yourself, right? Yeah. Well, don't think that always think that the country is totally safe or something where there could be crime. Yeah. So make sure that you're not alone, especially at night, walking the streets or something, right? Yeah. And try to be protective about yourself. Yeah. So that's one thing. Well, I also like to say, well, many people can find a good relationship in China as well. Yeah, if you totally meet the Mr. or Mrs. Right.
Okay, that was power packed, and you talked about security. I think you're right because a lot of us think maybe China is very safe, but in a way, we should also be security minded. That's very true. So, how do you advise foreigners? I mean, China speaks Mandarin Chinese, and a lot of foreigners cannot speak that. I mean, how do you advise making friends against? I mean, how do I put it? Despite the language barrier, because you speak good English. So, what about that other side of the China
You mean meeting people who don't speak good English?
English? Yes.
Well,
How do we do that?
maybe you could speak Chinese.
What about if we cannot?
Well, I've met some couples, like I mean, some marriage couples. Maybe the man is foreigner and the wife is like Chinese who don't speak good English. Yeah, still together, but why? What I'm thinking is like as long as they could communicate by in different ways, and like even using body language, or sometimes we can understand each other by heart, right? Yeah, it's like understanding people doesn't mean you have to only listen to the language, right? You should also like try to express in different ways as long as you can understand each other. Yeah. Well, but what else should you know is that you always find something in common, right? As you know a person that you can find something in common with. I don't think language should be the big barrier. So maybe you can try to use some awkward language, right? Plus some body language for better communication.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Eddie. Is this something you like to maybe add up or something like an advice or a personal speech or a shout out to someone out there?
Oh, well, well, I don't know, but I can see like in China, you meet something always that surprise you because it's very different culture, in terms of language, food, and the way people behave, right? Yeah. For example, don't be surprised when people ask you your age and religion, belief, or something like that, right? Yeah. But it's okay in China, but don't take it as a, you know, rude behavior or something, and don't show that the person is rude, and just to try to give more understanding, and then you can gradually accept it. But as what I say, most well-educated people should know the difference, or we can say the culture shock, right? Yeah, about about foreign culture. So it shouldn't be a problem, and you'll get used to it, and you'll be happy. Right? Yeah, yeah. Try to enjoy the food here in China. Yeah, because food varies from area to area. Even in the same city, different families have different cookings for the same food. So I'm pretty much sure that you enjoy the food, and most of the food is healthy. Trust me. Right. Okay. So
Okay, that is brilliant. Thank you so much, Mr. Eddie, for coming to my show today.
you're welcome.
It's been a very amazing conversation with you, and I hope you guys would enjoy this episode because this is more like what you guys want to meet here in China, all right, or even abroad as in general. So you guys don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. All right, thank you so much, and bye bye. Can you?
Okay.